All right, guys, what's up? It's a market report. Today is June 7th, 2021. I'm here with Ange. No pimp talk today. No pimp talk.
No, well, it might come up
Little
later.
pimp talk. Anyways, check out our market report. Here we go. All right, guys, so the first stat we're going to talk about is average days on market. I guess before we even get into that, Ange, what are you seeing? You're in the market every day. You're showing houses, listing properties, writing contracts. What are you seeing?
So I am seeing some people are getting a little bit nervous about buying a house. And the thing is, we have to not be nervous. Let's let the other people be nervous. We, as a team here at the Joe Taylor Group, we are a group of competent agents. We are not scared. We are not afraid to fight for you. We want to get out there and battle for you. We are watching the market every day. We look at the MLS and we will check your criteria and find out exactly when the newest homes come out. We are ready to go on every single day. If I am not ready, anybody on the Joe Taylor Group will take you if I can't take you, because we got to get there first.
Right.
That's number one. Get there first.
Well, I think you ran into an issue which we talked about. I don't think we've talked about it here, but you and I talked about it. Was sometimes real estate agents are all fluff and they don't tell their clients the truth. Sometimes we tell them the truth and it's not the truth they want to hear, and so it hurts our relationships.
Yeah.
So with the Joe Taylor Group, you're always going to get the truth. Sometimes that truth is uncomfortable. Cue Jack Nichols, and you can't handle the truth.
I know. Well, and the thing is that I would rather tell you what we're dealing with than get you out there and disappoint you. That's
Right,
the conversation that we had, not that we're afraid to battle, because I can battle. I've got all my weapons out to battle for all of my clients. And if we can't get you the house we want, I will always take you down the new build path also, because that way you don't have to battle. That's a big thing.
Well, and there's a big difference between telling the truth that comes from hard work and being negative that comes from being lazy. You'll never get laziness from us, but you may get the hard truth. And it may be, hey, we've got to go above asking price on this, or hey, in your price range, we've got to make 3 offers all above asking price and look at the appraisal issues a little bit. And so it may not be, it's for sure not going to be a lazy lie, but it may be a hard-working truth where we go, listen, if you're looking to spend $400 and you want a 3-car garage, we're going to have to be really aggressive on your offers. And it may not be what you want to hear, but in the long run, our goal is putting you in the home you want to be in, even if that comes in the form of a hard truth.
The other really important thing I think about getting in these multiple offer bidding war situations is when you're looking at houses, if you're capped at 400, let's look at houses that are at 380. That way we have that wiggle room to go up to 4, and we can push your loan still is at 4. And then we might not have to spend as much of your money. I just had a situation where we were looking at a house that was 400. We ended up offering 450. And we waived the appraisal. Now that sounds really scary. That means you will still get an appraisal, but you might have to come out of pocket $50,000. And that was really scary. But what we did was we ran all the numbers. We did the comparable sales, which is we look at all the sales in the last 6 months that sell that is a house like the one we're trying to buy. And what we found is that appraisers were gonna bring that price up. And what ended up happening was that house appraised at 450.
Which is nuts.
Right, my buyer did not have to come out of pocket anything. His loan covered everything. So that's why it's so important to work with a professional that's gonna do that work for you. They're not just gonna say, let's offer this crazy amount. We're running the numbers. We're keeping score for you so you don't have to worry. And we're always going to come up with a plan that you can get out if it's terrifying. We know it's terrifying, but we're here for you. Sorry, I get really...
No, that's good.
Hot.
So
it is. It's getting hot in here. It is seriously hot in here. So,
all right, weird Joe analogy time. So this goes back to Austin Powers. If you remember, Austin Powers was in the bathroom and he was trying to figure out who number 2 worked for. And you remember he kept yelling, who does number 2 work for? And the guy in the stall next to him was like, give it heck, buddy. Anyways, so it's important to realize the appraisers do not work for us.
Right.
They do not work for you. They work for the banks.
That's right.
So what's been cool though is to see that the appraisers are adjusting values with the time. Because coming out of the last recession, I'll tell you, a bunch of appraisers went to jail because they were manipulating appraisals and things. And so then appraisers became very conservative because technically they are the client of the bank. the bank uses them to help justify the money they invest in a property. So that long story time with Uncle Joe comes back to realizing that we may not control the appraisal, but we can try to preemptively understand what the appraiser is going to do, which is the job of a real estate professional.
Right. And they're looking at the same things that we're looking at. So when we're telling you the numbers and the houses, and we're saying like, 123 Maple Street sold for this amount, we're doing that homework for you because we don't want to put you in a situation where you're out of money.
Sure.
We don't want that.
All right, so let's get to some numbers really quick, and then we'll do our 30 seconds of advice, and then we'll call it a week. All right, so number of days on market continues to trend down. As of May 2021, we're down to 13 days on market, meaning every home from a $50,000, which doesn't even exist, $100,000 condo to a $9 million mansion, the average from them all is 13 days, meaning from the time it hits the market till the time it enters escrow is about 13 days, which is down from a year ago. May 2020 was at 26. So it's in half of where it was a year ago, which is tough. Months supply of homes. This is, if you remember, total number of homes gobbled up each month versus total number of homes entering the market gives us our total months supply of homes. We're currently sitting at 2.2 months of inventory, and that is down from May 2020 was 3.4. So we're down about 35%. And that means the $9 million mansion and the $100,000 condo, if you average them all out, we have about 2.5 months. Meaning, if nobody listed a property for the next 75 days, we would have 0 homes on the market in 75 days if it weren't for people putting their homes on the market. And that's continuing to trend down. Percentage of list price. So this is a cool thing as far as if a home lists for $400,000, what does it eventually sell for? We're currently at 100% of list to sales price, which is crazy because most of our homes sell for over what we list them for. But we're at 100%, which is up from May 2020 was 98.8%. So I think real estate agents have become a little bit more aggressive, a little bit probably more confident in what they tell their clients to list for. So we're at 100% of list to sales price. The interesting thing is going to be to watch that next month and see if June is above 100%, which would be, I think, the first time in the history. Last but not least, number of closed homes per month. So if you remember last market update, I talked about the fact that the problem isn't really supply, and I was probably wrong on that. I think the problem is supply, not on the resale market, but on the new home side. They're just not building enough homes. But the number of transactions on an annual basis continues to trend upward. We are on pace currently for 46,000 transactions this year. That means there's 90,000 transaction sides. 45,000 buyers, 45,000 sellers, which is up 21.5% over last year. So we're actually selling more homes than we have, but there still is not enough because of increased demand. So we're getting people moving from California, from New York, from Pennsylvania. I mean, the entire East Coast is a disaster with their infrastructure for water, plumbing, roads, all that fun stuff. California is a disaster when it comes to taxes, so they're all flowing into Nevada. We've had friends recently move up to even Utah has a state income tax, which is something we don't have. So Nevada, we have no natural disasters. We've got great infrastructure. We've got great taxation rates. Our schools aren't that great, but people are still coming to the city in droves, which is, again, trending our number of homes sold on an annual basis upward, but it's still not enough to meet the demand.
We also have a great hockey team.
Yeah, the Golden Knights.
Just saying.
Go Knights.
Go Knights, go.
I was so scared after game 1. And then game 2 we got screwed. That was not a penalty on Riley Smith. And then game 3 we dominated. Game 4 we dominated. Tomorrow, hopefully we'll dominate game 5. All right, Ange, 30 seconds of advice. June 2021. What would you tell, let's give you home seller advice, and I'll take home buyer advice. So we're going to flip the script a little bit. She's got 30 seconds to tell home sellers, hey, it's June. Here's the great news. Ready, set, go.
Home sellers, here's the great news. You can still get the amount that you want for your house. You can take a look, see what you think it's worth. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. We will give you what we think it could sell for in one day, because that's really, if you price it correct, it's going to go in the one day. If we go a little higher, we might have to wait a little longer. You are in the driver's seat with us. Just so you know, we're going to do all the homework for you. We're going to run all the numbers. We're going to give you the best deal possible. It's a great time to sell your home. And don't be afraid to sell your home and find something else, because we can make sure that you get that time.
Okay.
Oops, sorry.
So
Over.
3-second penalty will be assessed. All right, so
Yellow card.
great stuff. So honestly, I think she's 100% right. It's still a great time to be a home seller. Right now, the process basically goes, hey, Joe, I want to list my house. Okay, great. How much do you want for it? Well, my neighbor sold for $400. Okay, let me take a look. I see that their comps are in the 380 to 420 range, and I say, let's list your home for 450. And then somebody pays them 460, and we're huge heroes.
Yeah.
So they wanted 400, we get them 460, the market's crazy. So anyways, good news sellers. All right, 30 seconds of great news for the buyers. Ready, set, go. Here's the great news. There are some real estate professionals that treat their job the way doctors and lawyers treat it. They're few, but we've got a whole collection of them here at the Joe Taylor Group. The reason why that's important to you, we are not in the practice of real estate, we are in the perfection of real estate. Like, our goal is to give you a perfect real estate transaction. And so interest rates are low, we're very knowledgeable, and we are going to make sure you get in the best position possible for what you're dealing with, which is why we're perfectionists. 30 seconds.
Boom. That was hot.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. As always, Angie and I try to do this every couple of weeks. This is the June report. We'll be back in the next couple of weeks for July. The bottom line is, if you're looking to buy, if you're looking to sell, we make it our passion to bring as close to perfection as we possibly can for you. Home sellers, we got your back. We're going to get you top dollar. Home buyers, we got your back. We're going to put you in a great position. 702-336-8500. Just text and say, I'm thinking of selling my home. I really want to buy. We'll get you taken care of. Have a great day.